You too hot, I'm your fan child, and I can't be your boyfriend cause I'm a man now. Took both my feet just to see where we stand now. Show my true colors from the jump, I put my mask down.
Alright, good morning and welcome to SoFlo TV. This morning we're going to be cooking a omelette, and you're going to need a board, a cutting board. Let's get right into it. You're going to need something sharp to chop your vegetables and stuff, and you're going to need some baby bella mushrooms or whatever mushrooms you choose to use. This is going to be a spinach mushroom omelette. Next step, you want to take those mushrooms and you want to wash them in a bowl, right? I let it sit in the bowl for a little, loosen all whatever is in there, and then throw it out in the sink. And of course, some hot peppers. Some say habanero, some say scotch bonnet. I just say hot peppers. I like my food spicy. And now we're going to go on to some spinach. It is a spinach mushroom omelette, so you're going to need your spinach. Whatever spinach you choose to use, baby spinach, full-grown spinach, college graduate spinach, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be having mine with some 100% whole wheat bread and some other stuff, but let's talk about the whole wheat bread. See, you got to make sure your whole wheat bread doesn't have certain things in it. And I know we're trying to eat healthy, so go for the one that says no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial preservatives, a low-fat, cholesterol-free food. That one works best for me. Or you can have it with whatever bread you choose to have it with, okay? Now, a bowl, and we're going to show you what that bowl is for in a minute. It's an omelette. You're going to need a non-stick pan. Make sure it's a non-stick pan. It's going to come in real handy. And whatever oil you choose to use, avocado, olive oil, vegetable oil, and of course you're going to need some eggs. If you notice, I didn't put too much oil in the frying pan, and I'm going to show you just how much oil you need, really a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, crack my eggs, get that out the way, wash my hands before I start handling anything else, even though it's going into the same pot. You're going to need an onion. I love onions. By the way, just randomly put that out there. You're going to need a tomato, all right, a nice sized tomato. And you're going to need, for some flavoring, a pepper, a bell pepper, red or green, it doesn't matter, whichever one you have available. I use red because that was what was in the fridge. And a little bit of salt, not too much. That's a tiny spoon, by the way. It's a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. And it's just a little salt on there. Some are going to say, oh God, too much salt. Well, it's 6 eggs. And I can hear the critics now. I don't cook with salt at all. Okay, well, I like to taste my food. So, and you beat it, and you got to beat it like bachata. Beat it until the egg comes to a certain kind of a consistency. All right, and once the egg gets to that kind of a consistency, you can put that to the side. So the egg should look a little bit like this, not a little bit. Make sure your egg looks like this. So you've beaten it for a good 2 minutes, if that long. Yeah, about a minute should do. 60 seconds is enough. Get it like that. I don't know if you've ever bought eggs in a grocery store in a box already mixed up. It looks like something like that, but beat the egg together and it looks like that. Now we're going to move on. You're going to need some spinach. And if you notice, I'm putting everything by the side. I haven't put anything into the pan yet. Pay attention to what ingredients goes into the pan first. This is very important. All right. So I have my spinach, my mushrooms, and I have my onion, my hot pepper, tomato, and my bell pepper. And again, it doesn't matter if it's green or red. My eggs and my pan is ready. If you notice, there's only a little bit of oil in that pan. Not too much. And I'm going to beat this some more. I'm going to go ahead and put the eggs over there for a minute, and I'm just going to go slice up my veggies. Here I go. Slicing away like a true professional. Please be careful. Someone said, you're doing everything wrong. People are so critical on YouTube. You're doing everything wrong. You need to put a towel under the board so you don't slip and cut your hand off. And you need to wash this before you touch that. And the tomatoes go to the left and the onion goes to the right. Listen, you're in your kitchen, right? And you're cooking, and I'm sure you're not a child and you've cooked many times before and you hadn't killed yourself yet or infected yourself with anything. So just be clean and do what you do. So I'm slicing up all my ingredients while not listening to anyone. And I'm going to show you now what goes where. So it should look like that. Put my oven to high to get my oil to heat up quickly because everything's already here. Now, if you're not expert at this, I suggest you not put the oven at high as yet. Maybe start off at medium because that oil is going to heat up pretty quickly on that coil stove. If you notice, my onions go in first, and I'm going to go ahead and put my tomatoes in, and I'm going to go ahead and stir that around for a minute. And I do that because you don't want the onions to be like stinging and hard. But at the same time, I don't like it soggy. So it's going to be there for probably about 30 seconds in. 30 seconds into having the onion and the tomatoes. Oh, you should smell this. This smells so good. Oh my goodness. This smell right here will like fill the whole house. I should have put some garlic in there, but I don't use garlic all the time. But I do use a lot of garlic. So, I mean, you could be playful with your seasoning as well. Now it's time to put the mushrooms in. But I would like to slice the mushrooms up a little first before putting them in the pot, right? And it looks like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put the mushrooms on there, chop them a little bit, not too much. You don't want to mince the mushrooms up. I actually like my mushrooms huge, big pieces. They taste so good. And I discovered mushrooms while doing a 30-day meatless, dairy-less 30-day challenge. And mushrooms were like meat. So it looks like this in a pot. So about 30 seconds in to 40 seconds into having the onions and the tomatoes in there. By the time you hit a minute mark, you should have already put your mushrooms in by now. And you saute that, the onions, the mushrooms, the tomatoes, saute that a little bit with the peppers. It's fogging up my camera. Let me clean this off real quick because I want you to see the food. Okay? And believe it or not, you can eat that by itself right there. But that's not what we're going to do. We're working on a omelette, okay? A spinach mushroom omelette. So from here on, this is about 2 minutes in. A minute and a half into 2 minutes in. You're going to give that egg a nice whip one more time. And you're going to introduce the egg to all the other ingredients in your non-stick pan. Remember, a non-stick pan. You'll have a heck of a time trying to scrape your egg. And you notice I am now adjusting the stove to lower heat now that I've put the egg in the pan. And that's because the egg's going to start to stick to the pan. And if you've ever made scrambled eggs before, you know you got to keep it moving. Keep moving around or else everything's going to stick and burn like quickly. Right? So I've lowered the heat and I'm going to allow it to harden. And that's what it looks like. A sight to behold and a smell to smell. I don't know, but it smells really good. So you got to work at it. And right now I'm putting in the work. No, whip it around, whip it around. Make sure it does not stick to the pan because it will burn even though it's a non-stick pan. And I'm putting some work in here. And we're almost coming to the end. So this is going to take about another 2 minutes. And another minute in, we're going to put in our spinach. And about a minute from putting the spinach in, it's going to be all done. Now, I use a whole lot of spinach. They've done this for me before at my favorite hotel in Texas when I'm traveling. And it doesn't look anything like this because they give you like 6 leaves of spinach in an omelet and they fold it over so neatly. And you know, that whole hotel look, 5-star hotel breakfast look. That's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for good tasting food that I can do at home, fill me up, taste so good. And this is what it looks like. Okay? A whole lot more spinach than what they would normally give you, say, at a restaurant. But I was going for that effect. I wanted to put my greens in, have my veggies for the day, and at the same time, just have an omelet that tastes this good. Believe me when I tell you, it tastes so good. Oh my goodness. Now, if you try this, let me know. From start to finish, this meal takes about 5 minutes, really. It looks longer because of the video, but don't pay that any mind, all right? Just once you get a hang of it, all the ingredients down and all that, it won't take you long to make this meal from start to finish. And once you really get a hang of it, you won't even need this video anymore. It'll all be in your head. And you can play with your ingredients and come up with something, some kind of different version of. There's no right way or wrong way to cook this, okay? It's my edition of a omelet with spinach and mushrooms, and that's what it looked like on my plate. I also had some brown rice left over, and I just fried that up with some onions, and I added it to my plate that morning. So that's a big boy plate you're looking at, and that's some good old home cooking. I will catch you on the next video. See ya.